friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Thursday night match day preview show. I'm, of course, Martin, the Governor Lambert, and this is a finalist in the Football Content Awards. So if you've not yet voted, please do head to the website. I will drop the link in the chat right this moment. Head there very quickly and give us your vote. We are in the best podcast in the EFL category. Thank you very much for all of the lovely guys and girls who have put us there. Now let's try and go and win it, I suppose, against some really tough competition. Darren McAnthony's own podcast is there. I know the Blades one has like 13,000 subscribers, so bit of an uphill battle, but we'll give it a good go. And with the help of you lovely guys and girls, let's see what we can do. The chat is absolutely buzzing. I love it when the chat is buzzing before the game. And of course, why would you not be buzzing? Because there's a big question circulating the Ipswich Town fan base this evening. What do you call that thing you put chips in? Is it a barn cake? Is it a cob? Is it a bread roll? Personally, it's a bread roll, but I'd like to hear what you guys and girls think. Of course, that dates back to this evening's coffee chat with Edmondson, Chaplin, and Edwards. We'll get our contributor's opinion on that. I'm absolutely sure. Matt Stallard straight in there with a bread roll. Absolutely true. Lewis Knock, Christmas tree formation might work against Wimbledon. Absolutely. Welcome in, Crunch. Welcome in, Nick. Matt says vote. Absolutely. You should vote. You should also hit subscribe while you're here. And of course, if you've not yet done so, go to our Ko-Fi channels and donate, which I'll come to in a bit shortly. However, first of all, let's bring in one of our first contributors. We have got some technical issues with the third. So until he reappears, hopefully with a working mic, it'll be the two-man show. So here he is. It's a bit of a Va Va Voom. Our very own resident Va Va Voom expert, Tom James. Welcome in, my man. How you doing?
Evening, mate. I'm all right. How are you?
I am good. I've had a great week. I've had an absolute great week. We've been nominated for FCA Best EFL Podcast. I've hit some personal wins. How has your week been?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, I went to Wales on the weekend, so I've caught up with the game and all the award stuff that's been going on. So I've been in the middle of nowhere, like I said to you, behind the chat, and it's just loads has happened since I've come back. So it's really good to see. Good to see a lot more content coming out on the town channels, and yeah, it seems quite positive, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody's finally put 25p in the town channel. You're absolutely right. And there's content suddenly being produced. But look, you're a finalist, Tom. How does it feel to be a finalist in the EFL Best Podcast category? And there's some big hitters there. So how does it feel for you?
It's great, isn't it? It's just great for everyone concerned, but not least yourself and the guys who set it up. What is it now? Coming up 18 months ago, probably over a year. So to come that far in such a short space of time, it's probably just kudos to you and the rest of the team who were there at the start. So just well done, everyone. And
can't do it. It's a team effort, though, Tom. It's a team effort. We can't do it.
Absolutely. But yeah, just go and smash it at the awards. And yeah, some big hitters there, but there's no reason why we can't win it.
Absolutely. And it is, of course, Thursday. So I do run a little bit of a Thankful Thursday on my Twitter page. So here are our monthly supporters through Ko-Fi. A few new names there, not in the traditional format because George is on holiday. George, never gone on holiday ever again, please. But I really am thankful to every single person on this list. They support us through Ko-Fi. And they've put us, really, Tom, in the position to go in, even dream about being a finalist, let alone actually being one. So I'm incredibly thankful to every single person that's on that list and has been on that list through the last 12 months. And there's some names missing. I'm seeing some names in the chat saying mine's missing. I'll do another sweep at some point and readdress it. But I ran out of space. I don't know if you saw that, but I mean, I'm not the greatest designer as you can tell. But I mean, where else? I didn't want to take too many liberties with George's handiwork here, Tom.
Need like a Star Wars revolving end credits or something for everyone to roll up and down, maybe. You could already tell what I'd put on. It stands out like a sore thumb. But I didn't want to take any more liberties with his work, because he's a designer and I'm a content creator and I know what it's like. Your work's your baby, and it's about personal gains. Tell the guys and girls what's going on in your life, because you're telling me off air you're training for something. What are you training for? Yeah, I'm off to do a half marathon next month, so that's going to be a bit grim. I know. I just said at the start of the year I've got to do something running wise, so I just said I'll do that. So I'm going to go do the Hackney half end of next month and just see how that goes. And then I'm more looking forward to the lunch afterwards, to be honest. But I'm sure the run will be okay.
Well, how? I mean, I'm not going to sound at all like I'm any good, but how far is a half marathon?
Oh God, what is it? 21, 22 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I know it says 12, 13 miles. So yeah,
that's a bit of 0.9. To be fair, like
yeah,
that doesn't sound like
I need to stop drinking these, otherwise it's not going to happen.
Well, yes, you mentioned drink there, Tom, and we do suggest people do drink responsibly, but we do have our partner, Away Day Beers. Josh, obviously, big town fan. He's combined the love of beer with the love of football. Not sure we got the love of the German team from, but there we go. Hobby Robson is the best, by far and away, the best beer that Josh does. So if you ever do get a pack, make sure you get some of that in there. That's the second favourite for me, Tom. I don't know about you, but the Bundeslager was an underrated hit.
Liquid football is the best one for me.
I've not had that one yet.
I would put that in straight away.
I have not had that one yet. Matt's done the conversion for us, 13.1 miles. Thank you very much, Matt. Stephen's ordering tonight. Hobby Robson says, Colin, Dr. Zach King, evening or good evening, the good doctor. As you could make it with us, Stephen Bowe. I've got a good feeling about Saturday. 3 points. Here we come. Well, yes. Before we come to Saturday, though, let's just touch on the content the club put out this evening before I bring in our third and final contributor. Where are you on this one? Then we've got Edmondson in the Gov role, if you like, and we've got Chaplin in the U role, and Edwards in the Coxy role. So, where are you on what you saw this evening from the club?
It was good. If I'm in the Chaplin role, I wouldn't have ordered a green tea. I'm just going to put that out there. But
no, that was a
horrible stuff. But yeah, it's really good to see. It's just something completely different, getting to know the players a bit more. And I'm hoping the fact Emerson's there means he's going to be playing on the weekend. But yeah, it was a nice little chat. There's a part 2 to come, and I'm sure we're going to get loads more of that coming out. And just to make sure everybody knows it is a bread roll. So that's the end of story.
I go along with that. It is absolutely a bread roll. Were you how did you feel the choice of people in your opinion? Were you happy with the choice of the people they chose? Were you? I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm seeing Edmondson on my TV screens more than I'm seeing him on my football pitch, and I support Ipswich Town for the football, not for the content they create on social media. Like there's a lot of other outlets that create so much better content. You got double-digit new players, Tom. Did it have to be? Did it have to be Edmondson?
Well, I think they've put him in because it's a teaser, right? He's ready now. He's fit, and I don't think they would have put him in if he was still cropped, and everyone would have been asking the question, what you've just said, like, why was he not playing? So I'm hoping that means he's ready, and he's going to be commanding at the back. Wolfie will probably get the chop, and I think it's a good sign. So yeah, good to see the new lads. I think with the content we've got, we'll get to know them as we go along. So it's all right for me.
Yeah. I have heard that he's nearing return. Whether this week comes a little bit too early or not, I have heard that he is sort of making good progress. But at this point, I've seen him on photo opportunities and videos more than I've seen him grace Portman Road, and I want to change that because by all accounts, I think he's a great player. So, but you're right. Good to see content being produced. Matt Stannard could try and experiment at Portman Road. Go to Burger Van and ask for a bacon cob or a bacon barm cake. Barm cakes always make me think of Emmerdale Farm. I'll have a barm cake and cup of tea, please, love.
I used to live in Mansfield for a year, and just up there's just Sheffield, Chesterfield, all that area. It's like barm cakes and I duck and everything. I just don't understand it. I live in the Midlands now, but it's an odd place for bread.
Yeah, it's I mean, grass. It's grass, right?
It's grass, yeah.
Yeah. So why do you say grass anyway? I'm gonna bring in our third and final member. He gets, of course, gets an intro. Looks like you do, Tom. He is our resident Brick Top. Stop him again, and you'll get your. Peter Cox, can we hear you?
Hopefully, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I'll drink to that, son. Bit of Bobby Robson from Away Day Beards. Coxy, welcome in. We had some problems with your mic before the show, so that's why you're coming a bit late. But you're here with us now. You've heard the chat so far. But the real question in all of this is, what is your favourite beer from AwayDayBeer.com?
Forgive me, Governor, for how I've sinned. I haven't had any yet.
What do we do with that then, Tom? I mean, that's just like put a fucking great big pin in my balloon.
Yeah, you might need to turn that microphone back off.
I think you might. I think it's probably a better one. Yeah. I think you might find yourself a bit sin-binned for the month of September there, Peter.
I haven't said nothing about, away day beers, and also heard that Ipswich buses are also very good as well.
Yeah, you know how to get around me. Right, you really, really do. Stephen says Star Spangled Tractor. Coxy getting the bin, says Keane, and Colin with the Hobby Robson. Right, you heard about the chat there. Barn cake, cob, bread roll, content from the football club. Before we move on, what is your take on all of those things? Very quickly, Mr. Coxy.
Which particular bit?
Barn cake, I suppose. Is it a barn cake, cob, bread roll? Do you just eat your chips like I do, a bit of curry sauce and get on with it? I mean, what do you do?
No, it's a bread roll. It's nothing. It's not a cob or a batch, as they say in where our Cali live. I don't know where
don't bring more equations into it, will you? Jeez.
He has already said in the chat that they call them batches. And I work with somebody who always used to argue, it's a bread roll. She said, no, it's not. It's a batch.
I'm confused.
Yeah, so like bread rolls.
Bread roll. Like, you're easy, isn't it, with bread rolls? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you look at something, it is. Anyway, right, moving it on. Are you like me, Coxy, a bit frustrated to see Edmondson on not yet on a football pitch, but on a video screen? Or are you a bit more like other people, a bit more chill, a bit more zen on a Thursday? A bit more, it's okay.
No, I've been like you ever since he signed. I think, well, where the hell is he? Especially now, as we've been not very good in the defence department, and obviously Burgess has improved things a lot. And we are under the impression, and it would seem so, that it would be Edmondson and Burgess in a centre of our defence, the twin towers, so to speak.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're seeing how good Burgess has been, Tom. It's and he has been good. It's sort of whet the appetite, because you think, well, if that's how good Burgess can be, how good's Edmondson?
Yeah, we need him. That's pretty much it. I think he's going to be a class above Wolfie, who's really not been up to it. Like for the Dons game, I could only watch the highlights, but I saw enough of what Wolfie did to know that it's just the same mistakes over and over again. So we've signed him for a lot of money for League One. We've got him on a 4-year deal. He's going to play, and I think he'll be quite good.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we do hope so. And of course, there's no need to rush him if you can get by, but not winning games doesn't help that. Stephen Parry, he's fit. He'll be back. I think if it wasn't there, we were more focused on getting him ready before quizzes. Well, the fact he was in the training ground, does help. And I have heard that he's nearing return, as is Chaplin. Adrian Garrett, welcome, Adrian. Nice new name for the chat. Could be our Mogger. Absolutely, Coxy. We need that back there, don't we? We need more Vinos, more Moggers, more colossal defenders back there, because at the moment we're just a little bit paperweight.
Yeah, I think that the big thing we need is a leader, and it would only on a couple of games. It looks like we've got that in Burgess. I mean, you really had to see him in that Cheltenham game, and when Haladki had a bit of a nightmare in that first 5-10 minutes. He sent the thing, and he almost made a house up. You saw Burgess give him a right bollock. Calm yourself down. Let's be all right. Yeah. So he is obviously. He's not. He is opening his mouth there. So he's got to be captain, especially with question marks over Evans, and we'll obviously get that when you do Tom and I's team.
Absolutely, yeah, and you are right. David and Burgess is good, and he's improved Wolfie, which he has. That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's fair.
He has improved since Burgess came in. I don't think many, if any, will argue with that. Stephen Parry, I think, bench for Saturday. Try and ease him in. Lee Anderson, the quote of the squad is there to say playing as a team is the next step. Absolutely. Colin Plump, Burgess, and Edmondson. Two of the best in Division 1 for me. Well, that is the prospect, which is why I want him on the football field, because I want us to be as strong as we can be. Right, talking about as strong as we can be, last week, Man City absolutely obliterated Norwich, Tom. 5-0. But miraculously, only 8 people got that right in the prediction league. Can you believe that? Only 8 people went for an all-out annihilation and were rewarded.
I can't remember. I probably only put 4 or 4-1.
You didn't go for 5.
No, I didn't. No.
But it was a part of our spot prize. And this week we have a set of new games, and one game will be the second part of that spot prize. And all the winners will go into the prize draw to win a Cozy Club voucher, courtesy of Cozy Club in Ipswich. So all you got to do, right, is put a few scores in, 30 seconds, Tom, and you could be getting a Cozy Club and having the night of your life. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right?
It's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
What are you going to order?
I do not. I won't win it, sadly, because I can't win my own competitions. But we have got 4 games: Ipswich versus Wimbledon, Norwich versus Leicester, Cambridge versus Bolton, and Southend versus Stockport. Coxy, look at those 4 games, please, and give me a spot prize fixture.
Do you want me to pick one out of them?
One out of them, please. That if you correctly predict the score right, you'll go into the draw with the other 8 that were right last week, to have a chance to win that Cozy Club voucher.
Okay. Cambridge and Bolton.
Cambridge versus Bolton.
Yeah.
Callie says, if you got a Cozy Club, I bloody hell thought it was still coming from the loss of Fatty Arbuckles. Yep, we've got a Cozy Club. It's a very nice place as well. So, Cambridge versus Bolton will be your spot prize fixture. Correctly predict the score for that, and you get put in with the other 8 people for the chance to win the spot prize. And the wild card this week is Henley versus Claydon. So they're your 4 games and your wild card. Get predicting with the link while we get chatting about this weekend, because this weekend is AFC Wimbledon rolling into town. The real Wimbledon, as some will say. Not me. So what are our thoughts as we head into it? Is it a must win or is it a mustn't get beat? Where are we? Because obviously we're playing a little bit of catch up already, with Wickham on the horizon, Bolton, as you just mentioned, on the horizon, who are hit and miss, could be good, could be bad by the time we play them. Where are we then, Cox? Where are you? Are you now in must-win territory? How's your feeling towards it?
Well, for me, if we are going to, climb this League One mountain, I've said from the start, we've got to. Every game's been a must-win so far, and so far with 4 and 2 draws. Are we now? I'll throw the question out to everyone else: are we now in? It mustn't lose, but it is a must-win. Every game is a must-win.
Must win, Tom. But every game is a game you'd like to win. I would agree with that sentiment. But now we're entering already end of August. Is it really a must win also for you, Tom? Because obviously 10 games is normally when the table starts to take shape. Well, this will be game 5, won't it? So you want to see a little bit of something, would you? How do you feel?
Yeah, 10% of the season done by that point. I kind of would expect to win 3 games at home. Yeah, I feel like we need to win it just to go on some sort of roll, because draws are not going to get us anywhere. It feels like the Keane start of plodding along, draws and draws and draws, and then boos start coming in, and then it gets a bit tetchy. So I think we need to win this one, given the opposition with respect to them. And we've got Wickham the week after, so they're going to be tough. So I think we really need to get a win here. And
then you flip it and you say, well, is it a must win or is it a game where you mustn't lose, Coxy? So if I gave you right now, look, I guarantee you a point. So you haven't got to go to the game. We haven't got to do a match day ticket. We haven't got to do any of that. We can just sit at home, play Minecraft, whatever it is you do, Coxy, on a Saturday or on a Sunday or whatever day you do. Would you take the point? Or would you say, no, we can't? A point's no good, really. We've got to be getting 3.
Going on our other results, so we've got to get the win. I mean, we've had 2 draws, 2 losses. I mean, let's be fair, where promotion's concerned, draws are really good for Ann Summers and Marks and Spencers, aren't they? Really.
Coxey's gone there early. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, Coxey. We can't bring an Ann Summers in before 9 o'clock. We're getting the watershed.
I do apologise to our younger viewers. We're not to the watershed yet.
No, okay. But you are right. Draws are at home, Tom. Draws at home against teams like Wimbledon. That's got to be seen as a defeat, hasn't it, for a team that's got aspirations, and there are serious aspirations of being a a title winner, a title contender, a top 6 side.
Yeah, I wouldn't take a draw if offered to me. I'd get the first game, big atmosphere, big occasion, fine, bit tense. MK Don's better team. AFC, we need to win that game. So I'm going to start getting a bit twitchy if we don't win that one.
Yeah, I think we will get all 3. It's just one of those, one of those things, isn't it? Is it already entering that world of 5 games in, but you can't get beaten? The issue I have is some will say, it's still too early, but what point do you not want to be playing catch up to the Wednesdays, the Doncasters, the bigger clubs in the division, Coxy? Are you already at that point where, if I have a quick look at the league table, I think it's 7 points, 8 points separates us?
I think it's 8 points, yeah.
And so is that already the threshold in terms of you don't want to surrender any more ground in the race?
Ideally, no, we don't. I mean, like I said, it is not, when 10 games are gone, that's only sort of like, what is that, 10, 20% of the season gone?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's answered a couple of questions. You didn't know, we didn't know with Wednesday coming down, how they were going to do. So far, so good. They seem to have adapted. We thought they were all skint, but they're up there. They're doing well. Wigan have come down again, and they seem to be quite solid at this level.
Mm.
So let's answer that question. Are we better as a team to be catching up than being ahead?
Well, you say Wednesday and Wickham obviously, come down looking good.
I say it's early days.
But it's early days. And Tom, we know from experience how you can be riding high in August, riding high in September, and then, you know where come May, which is not how Frank Sinatra sung the song, but we'll run with it anyway. So are you looking at them and thinking, that is what it is, but we were up there once, and it doesn't mean you're going to be there. I know a Wednesday fan who's already crowing, thinks they're promoted.
Well, that was us lot 2 seasons ago, maybe last season at a push. And I think that dip that we've had 2 years in a row has kind of kept me grounded that it's not that other teams have done it like Blackpool, because I saw somewhere online that said, I think only 2 teams only 2 years out of 20, the past 20 teams have done a Blackpool and actually come back from that position. So it's not the done thing. And just because they did it last year doesn't mean we have a divine right to do it. But I would say that the blips we've had in the past few years have been akin to this level of time. So if we have a blip now, we can go on a run. I think it's too soon to get worried about it, but we do need to start winning in the next few games just to build something, because we haven't really built anything yet.
Absolutely. Lee Anderson says if you're 10 points off at Christmas, it's tough. It also depends on the amount of teams between. Stephen Parry takes a load of game from all these teams in a bad cup run. Facebook user will be okay. I've no doubt about that. John Couch, welcome in, John. How can Colin say Edmondson is the best in League One? He's never seen him play. Colin, you're in the chat. Answer that. It's a fair point. He then says, Colin says, we'll be where we want to be in May. Don't worry about it all, lads and lasses. I do agree with you there, though, Tom. You are right. We were also there at one point. Right, 24 minutes in. We've got 107 people watching us, 98 on YouTube. Who is going to set me a like target for this fine evening? Coxy with the like target. You've got 98 on YouTube, 7 on Facebook, 1 on our very own Facebook page. So tell me, out of 106 people, what likes would you want?
Let's go for 65, shall we?
65 likes. So if you're watching this live, smash that like button. If you're watching it back, also, do not think you're out of this because you're watching it back on catch up. Hit the likes. Let's get going. 65, Coxy. I love it. Right, Saturday again. Who needs the bigger game? Who needs to stand up, have a great game, despite being 5 games in for you? Coxy, kick us off with that one, please.
Out of players, you mean? Who needs the bigger game?
Well, unless you want to go with the management or coaching side or Bluey or Crazy, I don't know. It's up to you. Crazy. Step it up on the old mascot in stakes here, Crazy. In fact, where has Crazy been this season?
Where has Crazy? Yeah, that's one of the.
Has anyone seen Crazy? Crazy, turn up, please. Over to you, Coxy.
Who do I think? I know you sort of you're still not sure on Haladki.
I'm not.
I thought he had a better game against MK Don. I know in the early you got to see some of the camera angles around that free kick. I mean, he was If he would have been a bit more central, he would have got that. He almost got it. But he did. He pulled off quite a good save from Twine, who's obviously going to be our new bogey player. Every time he plays, he's going to score against us now. And he did actually come. He done well from a couple of crosses. I mean, every time he's come for a cross, you was sort of thinking, "Holy, he's going to drop it." But now he caught, so he's getting there. But I think I'm only going by what Callie said when he went into the players' lounge and he was a bit. It seemed a bit.
Good old cow.
Good old cow. Players' lounge Callie there, and his golden ticket is like Charlie Bucket and Willy Wonka, anyway, that golden ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to take him away from you here, Tom. So if you're going to say him, I apologise. Think of somebody else. But Coxy, a lot of Evans mentioning in the chat. People are saying Evans needs to get a big game on Saturday. Before I respond on Haladki, how are you seeing that from the chat? Evans needs the big game more than maybe even Haladki. How are you seeing that?
Is it me or Tom?
Coxy.
Well, can you actually move on to Tom, because that's part of my selection of 11. You will see what my thoughts are on Evans. All will become clear everything. So,
question to you then, Thomas.
Cool. Evans. Thomas, very formal.
You've been naughty. Oh, Thomas.
Let's not get into this.
Coxy's on one tonight. He's at times before 9 o'clock. Now he's going. Come on, Coxy. Settle down. Simmer down. It's like the naughty kid in school. Tom, over to you.
I'm 50 now. I'm peaking too early, really.
I've peaked at 25.
Ask the missus, yeah.
He's on one. Tom, take it away. Great. Before he drops a manscaped bollock.
Oh, no. So, similar to Manscaped, I guess Evans might need the chop if he has another bad game.
If you're chopping with Manscaped, you're doing it all wrong. And there's a potential scenario of, we don't endorse chopping with Manscaped products. Choppy.
That explains a lot then. Oh dear. Evans. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Evans was my first pick I've got him in my team, as you'll see in a minute, but only because he's the captain. And if we're going to give the captaincy to Burgess, then fine. I think Evans can take a step back and we can give someone else a go in there. He's costing us a little bit in key areas. I think he's a good enough player, as he's shown early on, but we can't keep putting up with these mistakes. Wolf's going to get replaced, and Evans is also showing to be a bit of a liability. So, he'd be my pick. Haladki, you've already said, Pete, and I think we need to see a bit more from Fraser as well. I think we've got enough from Edwards, and Burns will probably do enough long term if he's fit. But it's kind of looking down the spine at the minute is where we're a bit weak. Yeah,
it's a bit disappointing, I suppose, isn't it, Tom? That you're 5 games in and you're already looking at those new guys, Haladki, Evans. I didn't throw Harper in there, to be brutally honest. I think he leaves a lot to be desired too often. And are you disappointed to be saying this type of thing only 5 games in? Did you expect more from them in the first 5?
Yeah. If I'm being overly critical, yes. If it doesn't continue for the rest of the season, then we'll know it was just teething problems. But we'll only find out with time and more training and more togetherness, I think. So we're going to have to wait and see, sadly.
Absolutely. Matt Stannard has clearly been listening to the adverts. Manscaped doesn't make a bloodbath in the bathroom. It certainly does not. Colin Plum, I'd suggest the armband for Burgess or Edmondson. Stephen Barber, agree, Stephen. Dropping him won't help his confidence. Piggott should be let loose against his former side, says Facebook user. Lee Anderson, TJ has clearly circumcised himself with Manscaped. Leave a fuck. So it's all right. It's 3 minutes past 9, though. You get let off from the old watershed. But Jesus, Carl Brooks, I think the only players at the armband of Evans will be Edmondson. Otherwise, Cook would have given it to someone else by now, surely. Dave, Haladki needs a big game. Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. I think Haladki does need a big game. I'd be surprised if the football club aren't working behind the scenes to try and improve the keeper situation. What I mean by that, are they looking to replace Haladki? Possibly not. I don't know if they view Holy as that number 2. They might well do. But I'd be surprised if, knowing how Ashton's aggressively attacked the market, if they weren't potentially looking into a goalkeeper as cover, or maybe even to push Haladki a little bit more. Kieran thinks Louis Barry should be given more game time. Stephen Parry, but mistakes happen in a new side. I think it's harsh for us fans to expect no errors from the off. I would not like my boss to want errors. No, but you do have a probation period in a new job, and first impressions count. And it's all about those first impressions, not Coxie, because the first impression of Evans so far isn't as billed. And one more bad game, two more bad games, you're losing that goodwill and that fan trust, aren't you?
Yeah, there is. The seed of doubt has been sown, I think, with a lot of fans, and me included. His early games and some of the games in pre-season, I thought, at last I'm probably going to have a favourite Ipswich Town player. This is going to be Matt Holland of the year 2021, but since the season started, no way. He couldn't tie up Matt Holland's left boot there, really. Yeah. So the seed, like I said, I'm not going to try and sort of when you put my team up, but you'll see what I think of Evans. Okay. All will become clear, I think.
Hawks, don't get a win Saturday. The question we start to ask, if they haven't from some already. N Greenwald 2912. Haladki needs to have you're going to call you N from now on, if that's okay. Haladki needs to have a quiet game with nothing to do. Lee Anderson. Evans has not had as many bad games as Cook. Parry agrees with Gov, but I've heard people binning them already. It's ridiculous. Thomas, this week's training will hopefully work wonders. And Stephen Barber, who's going to pull a hamstring this Saturday in this Benjamin Adams hamstring bingo stakes? Well, hopefully nobody. Before we go on to our teams for the weekend, let's have a quick look at a couple of news items that have just caught my eye. First of all, shirts. You're a big shirt fan, Tom, as we can see by you wearing that absolute delightful shirt. I'm trying to think of the first player that comes to mind. I think it's probably Carlos Edwards.
Oh, that's a good shout. I was thinking Frank Nouble.
Frank Nouble, yeah. Coxie, looking at that shirt, that era. What's the first, sort of player that comes to mind from that? Is that the Roy Keane? It is the Roy Keane time, surely.
No, Joel, I think.
Oh,
Joel,
yeah. So in that case, it's
early Mick.
Yeah. So in that case, it's Chick Kimura. The coach has gone. Those are the days. Chasing a player that we never played. Classic Town. Coxie, the first player that comes to mind for you. Chopra says Thomas for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Now, Grant Ledbetter for me.
Grant Led Boots. Kieran.
Ledbetter, so to say.
He still ain't got a club, He's not technically retired. I heard Jermaine Ferguson sign for Ipswich. Would you take him? Yeah, that was in the summer. I mean, he's probably going to be a goal scorer in League One, but I doubt it'd be coming. Chopra, says Lee Anderson. But I mention it because the Ed Sheeran sponsored Ipswich Town home shirt has outsold a number of Premier League rivals, including Norwich City. I'm going to ask you, can you predict or tell me where you think the Ipswich Town Ed Sheeran backed shirt currently sits out of 92 football clubs? What position do you think it is?
16.
Ooh, Coxie, before I reveal.
23rd.
You're both pretty close because it's climbed 21 places. It's close to you, Coxie, and it now currently sits in 17th out of 92 clubs. Norwich sit in 23rd, Tim Pot. When you're a Premier League side, you can't even get above Ipswich. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, that's working out well, right?
Yeah, cheering effect. What we need.
Well, that's some of that money.
Yeah, just to clarify, you're saying the club shirt, not the one that's been released with Ed Sheeran's number on it. You mean the whole
shaboodle
club shirt? Yeah. Well, it proves what a great bit of sort of business that has been for the club. Having a partnership with Ed Sheeran, and he's now 17th out of all the 92 clubs, and it's already outsold other seasons. It's the most
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a great bit of business by the club. Yeah,
and you wait until that new signing starts playing, Coxie, on that wing. that shirt sale number 17 will skyrocket when he's beating a man, showing a shoulder, having a goal or two. Carl would give Sheeran the armband. I don't know if that's the armbands for the pool or the armbands for the pitch, but he'll give him the armband. Dave says great marketing. Absolutely. Can you tell me though, based on shirt sales, who is the biggest club in England? Can you have a guess? Yes.
It's got to be Man United, surely.
Man United, says Tom. Where are you going, Coxie?
I will agree. Yeah, it's been Man United for years, and even though they've been down, I think they're still are they? You're shaking your head or not?
It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
All those Timo Werner shirts, mate. I'm sure of it. All those Chelsea fans walking around, the posh part of London, the West End, with their Timo Werner shirts, looking the bee's knees. But yes, it's Chelsea, believe it or not. There's some names in the chat coming in. There's Man City, who apparently, according to this article, sit in 4th behind Arsenal. It's the only time this year you'll see Arsenal ahead of Man City in a league table. I can promise you that. Chelsea, says Stephen Parry. Newcastle, says Paul Bird. Newcastle. Oh, we're in Newcastle. They're currently... they're not even... As they are, they're 14th. They're 14th, which, they would take that in both shirt sales and league position, I think.
Where's Liverpool on the list then, Gov?
Second. They are second.
They'll be happy with that, beating Man United again.
Arsenal 3rd, City 4th, United 5th, Spurs in 6th, West Ham in 7th, Leicester in 8th, Villa in 9th, and Everton round up the top 10. Is this UK sales? Lee Anderson, I'm reading an article live as I'm saying it. I'm not going to read it that quickly and digest it, but I'll give you the link. You can find that out yourself. Back to Saturday. We put some teams together, or you two have. I'm going to start with you, Coxie, because you've been bigging it up and building this up to be a big one with the Evans. I'll come to Evans. I'll come to Evans. So let's have it now, son, all right? You've gone for Haladki in goal. Vincent Young, Wolfenden, Burgess and Coulson, hoping Coulson will be okay. Harper and Carroll, Burns, Edwards, Piggott against his old side, and Macaulay Bonds. So the big question, I suppose, there is, as you've been saying, why Coulson? No. Why? Where's Evans, and what has he done to upset you?
I've wielded the axe already. I've dropped him. I decided to give Carroll a try in there. Like I said, my team is very much based on our insider information by our fellow contributor, is Grace King Kelly, and his his player lounge things and what he told us about things. So yeah, he said Coulson should be fit, so that's why I put him in there. I've give Carroll a go alongside Harper, because a lot of what people are saying is they're too similar. Now your
I can hear Stephen Parry.
Player of the season, can you?
I can hear him already saying, "Give him a chance, Cox. It's 5 games or 4 games. What you got to give these players the chance." Has Evans done enough? I suppose the question normally would be, is it enough to justify a selection? But I suppose in this case, the question is, has he done enough to justify, after being captain all season, albeit 4 games, enough to be dropped? Coxie?
I think definitely he needs to have the captain. I'm sure we've had this before with a player who was given the captaincy. I can't remember who it was, and they seem to be playing shite until they had the captaincy take. So perhaps just what they say, the crown of the king and the queen weighs heavy upon them. So perhaps that old armband is weighing him down a bit. Perhaps that's what he needs. But I think perhaps give somebody else to. Just to answer Mike D, he said no phrase. I'm just going on what Callie said. It's got to be 2 weeks out. Yeah. So I presume.
Obviously, we'll know more tomorrow.
Could be wrong. We don't know till tomorrow.
And we'll discuss that tomorrow night in the press conference reaction, because we'll know a lot more. Bond says Carl Brooks, love it. Anderson, love the team. Evans plays for me. Stephen Parry, then Wall should be dropped and Bond should have been dropped. Dave Eaton, give Evans a chance to redeem himself, as did Macaulay Bonne. Ronnie, welcome in, Ronnie. Don't think you can leave Scott Fraser at number 10, even if it's Piggott's old club. I've got Matt Stannard's team in the chat, but I'll bring it on the screen now. Cox, this is what Matt Stannard would go with. He would go with Holy in goal. We'll get back to that in a second. Vincent Young at right back. Edmondson, Burgess and Clements at left back. Carroll and Harper in the midfield 2. Piggott, Burns, Edwards, and Bond. This will be a side I put on the screen tomorrow with Rich and Matt and get their opinion on it.
Okay.
Lots of talking points here. Tom, which one? I feel like he's almost gone for Holy and then put Clements in just so we don't completely sort of pick up on the Holy selection, because the Clements one surely is more of the well, which one to you is more of the talking point? Pull it apart here, Tom. Be nice though.
Yeah, surely. Yeah, Clements stands out more, mainly because we've got 2 left backs in now, and I don't see it personally. Has he played in pre-season much? Has he played with the first team? I don't know. I'd be keen. Don't rate Penny Coulson injured. Okay, I was keen to hear why he might have put Clements in. So Matt's answered there. And Holy, I don't think Halaki deserves to be dropped yet. I think he just needs a bit of time to gel with his defence. And we've all seen Holy, and he's not going to be the one for us, I think.
Yeah, a lot of Holy face palms. Holy, oh my God. Holy, as we've seen, says Mike D. He also says Clements, Matt's done, I'll stop drinking. He says, did really well against Newport. Coxy. It's a mixed reaction. Like, I'm surprised because, I mean, most people I would have thought would have said Clements, oh my God, and then completely ignored the Holy, but it's mixed. Which one for you is the biggest Holy in goal, really? Or,
Well, if that side trotted out on Saturday, I mean, he's almost gone identical for 3, except for Edmondson, Clements, and Holy. Yeah, if we saw Holy in goal, I might think, well, I might as well go home now. But yeah, he would be the one I was thinking, oh my God, now. Clements is is an interesting one, but that's obviously going to be Penny straight in for Coulson if he's injured still.
I think Coulson might be okay. I'm not quite sure. I've not heard anything. Hopefully just a precautionary. But yeah, 2 big claims in there, Matt. We love big claims on this show. We truly do. Let's see what Tom can bring to the party now. We've got Tommy's 11 here. Hladky, Vincent Young, Edmondson, Burgess, Coulson, Evans and Harper, Edwards, Fraser, Burns and Bond. So no real surprises there at all, Tom. You've kind of played it. You played it, Mick McCarthy style, safe here.
Well, with attacking intent. I've just gone for a bit of stability. Edmondson needs to come in for Wolf. I think that's already been said why. Evans, he stays in if he is still our choice of captain. I think it sends out quite a strong message to drop the captain so soon into a season. And I think the front 4 kind of speak for themselves at the minute. Fraser needs to do a bit more, but I'm not sure about playing another striker in the 10 if we're going to get that level of creativity that we need. That's my only argument as to putting Pickett in there. But I think Bond needs to start based on his goals, and Pickett will probably come on and replace him against his old club. So, that's where I'm at with it.
Absolutely. I'm a bit upset, I've got to say this, but, John, terrible 11 attention seeker. Don't like that, John. Be kind with our responses. If you don't like a team, that's fine. But say why you don't like it. That was about Matt Stannard's team. But say why you don't like it. It's fine to say, look, don't like that team and here's why. But come on.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion,
Absolutely. We're one big community here and we like to keep it friendly and on point. Disagree by all means. I mean, fucking crack on with that. But let's keep it good, I don't like Matt Stannard's team just because it's got Holy in goal. But we'll get to that probably another day. Leone's 11 has gone for Holy, Penny, Burgess, Wolfenden, Vincent Young, Harper and Evans, Edwards, Fraser, Burns and Bond. So again, played it kind of safe there. But Holy in goal, Coxie. We met Leone last Saturday. She on the pre-game show. Hopefully we'll come on the show again. Hopefully pre-game or post-game this weekend. We'll be speaking to her before the game and asking her thinking behind Holy in goal.
Yes, another one who's surprisingly gone for Holy. We need to needs to find out if she's around before the game, see what her thinking is. I think she's willing to come on again, which I'm sure she would because she done very well, didn't she, on her first appearance?
She did awesome. Yep. She did awesome. Yeah, great first appearance there on the show. People who didn't do awesome, Roy Keane as manager of Ipswich Town Football Club. He's been in the news recently saying his recruitment was all wrong at Portman Road. How did you? Well, okay, take it away then, Coxie. Would you agree with Mr. Roy Keane there, who this week did dress as Chase from Paw Patrol? I don't think he did that many times as manager of Ipswich Town Football Club. Was his recruitment really bad, Cox?
Yeah, he just tried to he tried to buy the Sunderland team, who got up when he took over. They were sort of bottom of the Championship, and he got them up. But they were a Premier League side playing in the Championship, and he tried to replicate that at Portman Road, and that didn't work. Whether it would have worked at another club, whether it was just Ipswich Town ITFC, why it didn't work. But his recruitment was poor.
I mean, Lee.
But to be fair to him, he did have Simon Clegg, who was a bit of a chocolate fire guard. I mean, he was. Did he not try to offer one of the guys from Peterborough, wasn't it? Who was the guy with? There was two of them. We tried to get
George Boyd.
George Boyd. I think he offered him less salary than he was already on at Ipswich. I mean, what the hell?
I mean, the Ipswich had 11. Yeah, the 11 of players that could have played for Town and should have played for Town, and perhaps were in the office, not be able to find a pen playing for Town. It'd be great. Charlie Austin, for example, Tom. Up front, he was famously another one. Two players come to mind immediately. Thomas Priskin, for what I think was 1.5 million. My father-in-law, Watford fan, who's a Watford fan, still laughs at me to this day for giving them 1.5 for Thomas Priskin. And
Lee Martin, was he in that as well?
I don't know.
He must have been, yeah.
So he was in that one, yeah, but just for the song alone, Lee Martin, Lee Martin. I can't mark him down just for having a great song, to be fair, that you can sing on the terraces. Damien Delaney, on the other hand, I never liked Delaney at Town. How about you?
No, him and Macaulay, one of the best centre-back pairings we've had in this turn of the century, really.
Sorry, Tom. I need to remind you, that central defensive partnership were the central defensive partnership where we lost 5-1 at home to Norwich, and what was it, 4-0 away about 3 days later at Swansea.
I know, and the rest of the team were crap as well. But from what I saw, they seemed. And bear in mind, I've not had the best experience of watching Ipswich. So, but yeah, from our post Magilton era, really, those two were relatively solid. The rest of the team was a shambles. Macaulay was probably one of the standout centre backs we've had, and Delaney was perfectly fine from what I remember and saw alongside him. So. You're not the best defender, and he went on to have a good career with Palace, so he wasn't a bad player.
Yeah, it couldn't have been that bad, yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, but another player went on to have a good career elsewhere. I still maintain to this day that I read an article, or I heard the news report, that he left Ipswich Town to go and play in Canada. And then he ended up in Crystal Palace. Now, unless he meant Canada Water in London, that's a big fucking stretch, right? To go from Canada to Crystal Palace. Now, I might have read that wrong. I might have heard that wrong. I might be remembering it wrong, but I'm sure I heard that he was going to Canada when he left on a free. So I'm sure we paid him up, That
wouldn't surprise me.
And then he goes,
as Coxy said, Simon Clegg was a massive problem that we had with Keane's era as well. Overpaying on players, not getting deals over the line because we've spunked all this money on other players that are useless. So that didn't help him, but he was still an abysmal manager for us.
Absolutely. Well, what's not abysmal is this podcast, because we have been nominated for EFL Best Podcast, top 10 currently in the country. I want to try and make us the top 1, if not the top 1, the top 3. So do please head to that link on the screen in the chat and vote for us in the EFL Best Podcast. Thank you ever so much.
And at the very least, we need to beat the Kings of Anglia. That's fighting talk.
Don't swear on my show.
Oh, sorry, Governor. It's past 9 o'clock.
I'm not backed by publications. Right. John, they're still going on about their team. Good for them. Have a good debate. I like a good friendly debate. Gary, Keane had a house in Oldborough with an aggressive dog, and all the neighbours hated him. Alex, you're right, Gov. It was on the pack. Fuck me. I got something right. I knew it. So how did he end up for...
Right.
And that's bothered me even more now. No, it's right. That's really... Oh, right. Someone get Delaney on the show. Crunch, get Delaney on the show. We need to ask some hard questions here about how his flight got delayed from Canada to Palace. Lee Anderson, Keane started the rot. Dion, Delaney was put...
I'm sure I actually remember you talked about Roy Keane, because I've been an Facebook acquaintance of the Cruncher for years, and he had a profile picture of him and Roy Keane. I'm sure he said that the day he had that photograph, he put his arm around Roy Keane and Roy said, "Get your hand off me, will you?" Or something. So I can't do an Irish accent. I think he was really prickly. I think they waited.
Try again. Just try that. Let's try that accent again.
Take your hand off me. I think it was a bit stronger than that, but
I think it was like that. When it's a bit stronger than that. The strength wasn't the issue in the accent. But we love you all the same, Peter. Right, I do have to say this before we do move on. We now have an Instagram account. Okay.
Ooh.
I know it's been a whirlwind of a week, but now got an Instagram account. Right, we're currently sat on, I think it's 55 followers. So I want to try and get that up a little bit. So I'm going to do a competition. The link for the Instagram account is coming in the chat. It'll be on Twitter, etc. But if we can get 400 followers by Monday night, 400. Yeah. I will, 400. I'll stick every single one of those followers into a random draw, and we'll give away a prize worth £100. All right. So all you got to do to win a prize of £100 is, follow on Instagram, go into a draw, and then we'll see if you get pulled out. Does that sound fair, TJ?
I'm not big on social media metrics, but I don't know. It could work. I mean, what have you got on here? We've got nearly 3,000 on YouTube. So
yeah,
all you've got to do is cut a bit of that off and you should be all right.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we're on 55 at the moment, so I'll take it from this point on Monday night. So 9:25 on the show Monday night. We'll see what we're up to. If it's over 400, we'll do it. If it's not, then we'll fall short. But it's 55 at the moment. So, I mean, that's what? 345 divided by Friday, Saturday, 4 days. 86 a day. It's basically what we've done in 1 day already. I think that's all right. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, we'll go with that. And we'll give away a prize worth £100. There we go. Right. That's that. The ladies.
Gav, before the scene, did we actually give away the shirts, the home and away shirts?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did. Is a store? I'm glad. No. I'm glad you brought it up actually, because I'm still looking for the bloke whose shirt it is. Right. So, I did put a tweet out. Andy Elvin was one of our winners. His shirt is on the way, but there's a wait for shirts. I think it's ordered now for September. I mean, there's a wait for a shirt from which town before, but there we go. And the other winner, Crumbs, I forget his name. I think it was Alan Martin. I think I did put a tweet out. I think it's saying last call for Alan or Andy Martin, and then of course everybody says, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I'm Alan, and so is my wife. Yes.
Yes. It was done in the early part of the season. Okay. It was done offline because I couldn't get 2,000 names into the random prediction wheel and stream a show. The PC just wasn't having any of it. It was crashing every time. So I was like, okay, we've just got to do it offline and announce it. And I did announce it. And one person came forward, but the other person didn't. So I'm still waiting. I will put another tweet out asking for more for the correct person, not more people. I don't want more people. That's not what I need. I need the correct person now. But he's not got in touch. I'll give him I think I'll give him till Monday. And if it isn't, I'll draw it again. Or we'll do something. We'll come to some arrangement. I mean, he's had 2 or 3. We're talking about the 5th game of the season now. I mean, he's had quite a bit, isn't he? So yeah, we'll go with that. Sunday, women's team at home again this week to Cardiff. They are unbeaten and haven't conceded a goal. Let's have some quick score predictions for the ladies team, please. I'm going to kick us off. I'm going to go 3-0. Thomas with 2 and EK with a goal. Coxy, how about yourself?
I will say 2-0 to the ladies. And they're just going to prove. And the men's team, watch that. If you are in the winning habit, it's a very good habit to have. Yeah, 2-0.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tom?
Yeah, they've scored 10 and conceded 0. So I think 3-0. I think it's a good score. Nice.
Okay, we've got 7-0 from Dan Barnard, who's that's probably a decent result for the ladies. 13-0 says Mike D. Stephen Parry says 2-1. 2-0 says Mark Rattle. 4-1 says Colin Plum. 3-0 says Dr. Zach King. And Ant, welcoming Ant, says 3-0. Dobra, out on loan. Possible. What are our feelings on that as we close the show? TJ, what are your thoughts on possibly Armando Dobra going out on loan?
Yeah, absolutely fine. He's still a bit raw and he needs to be playing regularly, and he's not going to get that at the minute. I'd say you loan him out till Jan. Just let him go away, do his thing. If we don't want him back, we'll just keep him there or loan him out again. I think he needs that experience. It'll be good for us long term.
Yeah. Do you think there's a long-term future here for Dobra?
Yeah, I think so. It's a bit frustrating that he hasn't gone out already and done a loan, because I feel like that's hampered him, and we've all probably got this Ipswich Academy rose-tinted spectacles on, like, oh, he was good for 2 minutes in that game and he must be great, but he needs to do a Wolfie, go down to Swindon, come back a seasoned professional or something. Like with other players we've had, just loan them out, get them back and just see what they're made of. Obviously, Wolfie has gone a bit awry recently, but Dobra needs to do that to get to a certain level, and he's not there yet with us. Okay.
Coxy, how about yourself? Do you think a loan deal, like Tom said, is a good thing for him? And is there a long-term future for him? 2 questions there for you.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Tom said. Really, that is probably vital for him to go out on loan. He needs to play a season somewhere. I don't know where and at what level. Ideally at League 2, I suppose. He needs that. He needs to learn. Obviously, we have seen a bit of a temper from him. A bit of the red mist come down. The Accrington game away sort of springs to mind. That he does. He needs to play week in, week out. Get match fit. Get a bit stronger. Learn the bits you can't learn on the field. You can only learn in games.
It's got to be League 2 level, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Didn't the friendly show us when he sort of tore Colchester up? That's probably his level at the moment, and he's got to have that. Like going further down would serve him no purpose. That would not benefit him as a player, I would have thought.
Yeah, I quite like him in League 1, to be honest.
Would you? Sort of Cambridge style loan?
If we've got aspirations of being at the top end, then just be pragmatic and don't loan him to a top team. Obviously, there might be a surprise package in there, and fine. But I think we need to, if we want him to play in this league with us at the second half of the season when we might need more bodies, I'd rather him up to speed in this league than League 2.
Yeah.
As for his long-term future, I would like to think so, but as Tom said, you've got to be a bit careful not to have the academy blue-tinted glasses on, as he said. We've had this with Teddy Bishop. How long did we hang on to him? On the strength of 20 minutes against Middlesbrough about 6 years ago.
Yeah, you see, I'm with Keane. I don't see or have the opinion that many Town fans have, because they do talk about him with such glowing terms, and yet his 22 league appearances, 0 goals, 1 assist. And I honestly, a long-term future, I'd be very surprised. Very surprised. I just think this club's hopefully going that way. And I think this is probably his level. Okay. Perhaps not quite at this moment in time, but his max level for me, I think it will always be this League 1, maybe a bottom tier championship side. You might see him in, 6 years' time, for example, and you go, oh, we're playing Millwall. They've just been promoted again. And you're like, oh, they got Dobra. Oh, yeah, I remember him, yeah. I just don't look at him and go, wow, this is going to be a really good plat. I hope I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong because it's Town's benefit and not such as other players mentioned here tonight. And it's a long term. I might remember him. We could have had that. Never mind.
To be fair, you always have, voiced your doubts about that particular gentleman. So I don't wish to be right. Fair dues, you're sticking on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be right on Dobra. I've got nothing against the young lad. And if he can be the next Albanian Jack Grealish, brilliant. Just make sure it's with us. I just don't see it. Adrian said let's hit the like button. Absolutely, Adrian. Let's hit the like button. We're currently sat on, we're close, Coxy. 58. 2 people incorrectly and mistakenly hit the dislike button. We know that happens from time to time. You hit the wrong button. That's fine.
That's just to talk Norwich City guys. They're probably coming in just to be a bit upset over their Talk Sport thing.
I was watching their Talk Sport video earlier today. And,
I watched a bit of that. Yeah,
I was busy working away, and it was in my ears, and it was like, this is brilliant, but equally depressing all at the same time. So don't think Talk Sport, even though we exist, unless they're going to have a hammering session on their mate or whatever. We're kind of not important at the moment, sadly. Facebook, Brighton Richardson. Yeah, you see, people say that, but I wonder on Premier League sides these days if it's just not a stockpiling exercise where it's like we've got enough money. A player like Dobra would cost us $500,000. It's worth the flop. It's worth the gamble on a player like that because he might be really good, and if he's not, we've only lost $500,000, which to Brighton, who are now an established. Oh, how bad does that sound? An established Premier League side. I don't think it matters that badly to him.
Yeah, we had that cobblers with the aforementioned Norwich City when not this season they come up, but the last time they went up and they were sort of rumoured to be interested in Giselle. That was just a stockpile. That was just to prove they had the Premier League money to. They didn't really want him.
No,
that's my feelings anyway.
Carl Brooks, Dobra needs to work a lot. I think Dobra should have gone out on loan last year when Lambert wanted him to, because then we might be having a completely different conversation about Armando Dobra. Sonny Aluko might not be here, for example. He really, I really admire him for wanting to fight and have his place, but in equal measure, I also think it's a bit short-sighted, Tom.
I hope he's learned from it. And if two managers say you need to go on loan, he needs to start listening because it could define his career really as to where he goes next. But he needs to be made uncomfortable. He needs to go to a team where the dressing rooms aren't as nice as Ipswich is. It feels a bit different. And just like any of us, like leaving home for the first time or something like that, is just go out your comfort zone or just see something a bit different and try something else.
A good dose of reality somewhere with the fans who are a bit grim as well, and
the showers aren't always warm, and the loo ain't got no bog roll left or whatever. Carl Brooks, hey, they're all creature comforts. As a player, you get used to it at a certain level, but once you step down a couple, it's like, oh, crumbs. Carl Brooks, Dobra needs to work a lot. He shows glimpses of being a handy player, but I don't see the hype over him. Potential, but needs to go out and play. Dr. Zach King, I get the impression of his attitude. He's aiming the right way. Think he has a talent, so really do hope he continues. Think he might be good for us down the line. Stephen Parry, there are interest for a couple of $100K, which what they would make on loan fees. Yeah, there you go. You see, John Cook must have seen something in him. And Tom, why do we give him the number 14 shirt? I don't know. We gave Shearer number 17. I mean, it's like I won't read too much into the squad now, but no, I get your point, Tom. Who's also subscribed on or followed on Instagram, which, by the way, we're now currently sat at 66. So we've jumped to 10 in what has been this show. So, tomorrow we need 73 more to be on course for the target. So by the time we join you again with Rich and Matt for the press conference reaction, we'll be on target or not? Tom, do you think tomorrow night we'll be on target still, or do you think we would have gone by the wayside already?
I don't know how many people are on Instagram. Like
loads.
I don't know what here, what's the demographic split? I mean, I think you're asking the wrong guy, to be honest, mate. But I think we can definitely do it at some point.
Well, I've got 157 followers on my own, and last time I do it now, but I didn't Instagram for like 4 years. So I just suddenly remembered one day, I've got an Instagram account. Kieran, Carl Edwards is going to be the man that takes us to the championship. Yeah, I've got a lot of love for Edwards. Really have. Right, we're back tomorrow. Press conference reaction. Before I let you both go, give me a score prediction, please. We're back also Saturday, Coxy, me, you, Matt, Rich, for the match day ticket. Pre-game show live from Sir Ralph statue at 2 p.m. Hopefully the guys and girls will join us. And then, of course, post-game, where you and Big Dave won't be moonlighting this time, I hope. You'll be on the Talking Town show, not Alex Griffins, who's a good content, a very good content creator in his own right. But it's not quite Talking. So, Coxy, score prediction, please.
It's got to be the Coxy usual of 2-1.
2-1. T, what are you going for?
Edmondson's back in 2-0.
Edmondson, I like that. Clean sheet. We've got 4-5-0, 4-1 from Matt Stannard. Tom said need to get the ball to Edwards a lot more. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And literally, the tactic this week in training should be get the ball, find Edwards, give Edwards the ball, and then watch him just do his stuff. Dr. Zach King. Instagram is a whole new world for me. If I'm in an account, you're ready for TT. Well, the good doctor, we will take that. If you want to be in chance to win a prize worth £100, then you want to be following. Mike D, 3-0. He's missing Saturdays camping. What is this about people going away in the football season? I can't get my head around it because Neil's away, Ben's away, Mike D's away. Like, my wife's first question every year is, when does the football season start? Because she knows she could book the Monte Carlo, the Ritz, a around the world cruise. I'm not missing Morecambe at home.
People shouldn't have holidays or get married during the football season. That's just not the done thing.
I did that. Yeah, I did.
Where's Alex Griffin? I'm going.
I did. Fulham at home opening day when I missed Banya's only 45 for Ipswich because I was getting married. But yeah, that was a great. But you'd miss Morecambe away. Miss Morecambe away every day of the week. Yeah, it's a long way. Right, Tom. Score prediction. Have you given your score prediction yet?
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0. It's 2-1, 2-0. The chat's gone mad with 3 or 4-1. We're back tomorrow, 8:30 for the press conference reaction show. But Tom Coxy, I'm glad we could hear you in the end. Thank you for joining me. And I will leave you with a word from our rather wonderful sponsors.